Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Weight Loss and Wellness. Today I want to talk about two things. Now the first thing I want to talk about is how do you know natural supplements really work? So what I do as a measure for the supplements that I've tried or given to loved ones is I combine natural medicine and traditional medicine. Now I work as a nurse in traditional medicine, but I believe that natural medicine and traditional medicine can go together. So what I do is whenever I try something, I measure it against blood work or whatever my doctor says, or also how I feel. But I measure it a lot by blood work. So let me give you two examples. Now for my mother, she has COPD, and I started her on a regimen for her lungs. And I will be talking about those supplements, by the way. So I started her on that. And she's been on that for a number of years now. And 2 years ago, her pulmonologist said, I don't know what you guys are doing at home, and you must be taking great care of her. Because he was surprised that she was in such good condition for her age and her health issues. So he said, you guys are doing a great job. And I thought, that tells me that what I have her on is working. So that's one measure. And another measure is my husband, he has Crohn's disease and had a heart transplant. So he has to take some medications that can be a little tough on the kidneys. So his blood work would come back showing some strain on the kidneys. So I started him on a natural supplement regimen. And when he went and got blood work recently, the doctors were comparing previous blood work before he started the supplements. Now it took a while, but his previous blood work and his current blood work. And they said to him, what are you doing differently? You're much better. Your readings are much better. So that's another measure. So say for example, you tried something natural for cholesterol like fiber. So you could go to the doctor, get your blood work done, and see if your cholesterol levels are up, down, whether your good cholesterol is better, or worse, or whatever, so you can, or if it stays the same. So that's a measure that I've used over the years to tell me whether natural medications work or not. So that's something also for you to keep in mind. But again, check with your doctor before starting any natural supplements as well. So that's something to remember. And what I also wanted to talk about was lung health. So I work with ventilator patients and I take care of a mom with COPD. So I deal with respiratory issues quite a bit. And I look at natural supplements as well as traditional medicine. I think it's best to combine both of those when you're dealing with lung problems. So here are some of the natural supplements that I've used to help with lung issues. And one of them is ivy leaf extract. And this brand is Nature's Way. One brand that I like a lot is Nature's Way. So ivy leaf extract is known to open up the airways and help you breathe better. So this is something I've had my mom on for a very long time. Now it does come in capsule form and it also comes in a liquid form. The liquid form that I found was called Bronchial Soothe. So you can find it either, like I said, in liquid or capsule. So that's something that I think works very well if you've been diagnosed with a lung condition. I think it's helped my mom quite a bit. Something else that's good for the lungs. Now this, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce, but in the medical field we call it NAC. Or even in the natural medicine they say NAC, just to shorten it, because it looks a little difficult to pronounce. I will be writing all these down though, by the way. But I do give this to patients on a ventilator in a nebulizer form. And in that form, it's called Mucomist, but this is the generic name. So I give it in capsule form to my mom, and I've been giving it to her for years. And I think it's also helped her. So that and the ivy leaf extract are two I always give to her every day and make sure that she has. So I think that's been working for her, and according to her pulmonologist, it has. So that is something to try if you have been diagnosed with a lung issue, these two medications, but again, check with your doctor. So NAC is known to loosen up your mucus. I also take it for myself for allergies. So it's very helpful in loosening up mucus, and you don't want mucus like sitting in your lungs because it will clog the air sacs in your lungs and make you feel short of breath. So the more you can keep that mucus moving, the better. And a couple other ways to keep it moving is with a humidifier or something like a pure mist. I think that's something I've seen recently, where you're breathing in like steam and loosening up those secretions like you would if you took a hot shower, something like that. So you want to keep those moving, and steam is a great way to do it. Warm, humidified air is a good way to do that. So that's something to keep in mind. And breathing exercises is something else that's great if you've been diagnosed with a lung disease. So there's something that was taught to us by the respiratory therapist. That's a breathing exercise that I think helps quite a bit. When I notice my mom's oxygen saturation go down, I'll have her do these, and it pops it right back up to where it should be. So oxygen saturation, of course, is a measure of how well your oxygen is circulating in your blood and all that. And it should ideally be 95% and above, ideally. But I've seen her drop into the 80s, which is not abnormal in somebody with advanced COPD, especially when they're moving around, because that's a strain on the lungs. Or, with somebody with lung disease, it's not unusual to see a drop like that. But you've got to respond and get it back up. So with her, what I do is I say, okay, you need to breathe. You're breathing too shallow. So the respiratory therapist taught us that you want to smell the flowers and blow out the candles. So that is taking a deep breath through your nose and then acting like you're blowing out birthday candles. So it goes like this. And you do it slowly. So I have her do several of those, and I just watch the numbers pop right back up. So that exercise is great. And I was really glad the respiratory therapist taught that to us, because we've used that many times, to help get her oxygen saturation levels back up, especially after she's walked. Because in COPD, that's something that makes it go down, can make it go down. So that's something to try. And there are some teas that I like to use for respirations, and that is something new I've seen out with natural medicine. I'm not sure I'm saying this right. I always have trouble pronouncing these. I don't know why they don't make them with easier names, but I think it looks like, if you sounded it out, Schisandra berry. So this is traditional medicinals detox tea. So it has additional benefits. It has the berry in it that's good for your lungs, and it also has detox ingredients that help your liver. So good for both. So this is supposed to also help open your air passageways. So that's something newer that I've seen lately. So that's something I've been starting to incorporate with my mom's routine, and also mine as well, because like I said, I have allergies, and that's related, of course, to your lungs and your breathing. So I drink this myself. So it's good, and I think it's helped. And something else to keep in mind is traditional medicinals Breathe Easy tea. This is great stuff. So when my mom feels short of breath, I will give it to her, and she reports back to me that she feels better. And of course, her oxygen saturation, again, is another measurement I use. That's another way of finding out if natural supplements help, is by measuring things, whether your oxygen saturation improves or doesn't. Might tell you whether that supplement actually has helped you. Just like we would in regular medicine, we would give a nebulizer treatment, we would give albuterol, and then we would reassess the lungs and see if it worked. So I do the same thing with natural medicine. Did this work? How can I measure and figure out if it worked? And it, for non-medical people, you could go to the doctor and, like I said, see, are you doing better or are you not? And that tells you, am I responding to this medication or this natural supplement well, or am I not? Sorry, something just fell. But anyway, so that's a way to measure it, is to, see what your doctor has to say, see how you're feeling, see if your blood work's improved or your vital signs have improved, or whatever needs to improve has improved. So that's a measure of that. But this Breathe Easy is really nice. I like to use it when I don't feel good. If I have a cold and I'm feeling really stuffy, I will use it. It has eucalyptus in it and fennel, which are both very good for the lungs. So this is great, like I said, if you don't have a lung disease, even if you're sick and, just feeling stuffy and like, oh, I can't breathe, it's great for that. So those are all supplements that can help you. And another video to watch if you have lung disease or, allergies or issues like that is my video all about immunity. That will also help you find some other supplements, because the key to helping with diseases is keeping inflammation at bay. Inflammation, or what we call in medicine the inflammatory response, is involved in a lot of disease processes, tissue damage, and a lot of your symptoms. So the more you can keep inflammation at bay in your body, keep it down, keep it away, the better you do. So also with your diet, if you have lung disease, stay away from gluten. I put Mom on a gluten-free diet, and that also helped her symptoms. So again, another measure. Her doctor was like, very good, So that has helped her too. So gluten can be inflammatory, especially if you're like me and you're allergic to a lot of things. Because when I used to have gluten in my diet, I used to just sneeze all the time after I would eat. And now I don't do that as much, now that I'm on gluten-free, relatively. Sometimes I'll sneak something. And then I feel the symptoms. And I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I eat this garlic bread? It's not worth it. So I try to stick mostly with gluten-free. That would be like 99% of my diet. So that's something to keep in mind just for any kind of inflammation. It helps with arthritis. It helps with a lot of things, cutting out gluten, I find, for me. So you can see if that works for you. So thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and like the channel and share, because with this channel I would like to monetize it, but I want to monetize it with a goal to help charities. That's what I would like to do. I've always been involved with animal charities, animal shelters, rescues, things like that. I like to give money to things like that. I've been doing that over the years. So that's something important to me, and other charities as well. There's just so many out there, and you want to help so many people and so many causes, but there's only so much money to go around. So my hope was with this channel was to help people improve their health, but to also help people who need help, with charities, with hunger, things like that, help animals. So help all around. So please subscribe, share, like, comment. And if there's a health issue you want me to discuss, feel free to leave it in the comment section and let me know. Just say, Kathy, I'd like you to talk about this. So whatever health issue you have in mind and you want me to do a video about, let me know. I'll be happy to. So thanks for tuning in. God bless you. Everyone have a good day. Take care.